All right, everybody. We're going to get started doing Ultimate Trader Showdown here. It's going to be Pivotman and Kniteknight. Actually, Kniteknight is going to be on your left. Pivotman is going to be on the right. Let's go ahead and get this UTS started. And good luck to both. Intro song coming here. And then we'll have them call in and we'll get started today. Today's Friday. Was it the 23rd, right? December 23rd, 2011. Ultimate Trader Showdown. Here we go. All right, love that tune. Okay, so we're gonna have Kniteknight against Pivotman, left to right order. We're gonna go ahead and get these guys to give us a call in. I want to remind Kniteknight and Pivotman to make sure that you have the show muted so we don't hear that feedback. It's fine to leave the show on so you can see what your opponent is doing. There will be a slight delay. Go ahead and give us a call, or I can get you guys on here. Let's see, we got both the guys here on Skype. And Dawid, if you could please take that off the screen. Thank you. All right, so we got the Pivotman on here.
Alrighty.
Do you want me to just call you Pivotman, or do you want me?
Pivotman is great.
All right, we'll just call you Pivotman. And now we just got to get the Kniteknight set up now. Just to make sure I got you guys right now, UTS2, you're going to be on the right. Is that correct, Pivotman?
I have UTS2, that is correct.
Yes, okay. You want to go ahead and put on a trade up, maybe just throw a short on way up there real high so there's no way it can get filled, and then just click cancel it. I just want to make sure I see it up here on the screen. Don't tell me you're going to use the buy market.
Way up there. I can.
How about just like 6 or 7 ticks up there now, and so I can. All right. Looks like Wayne just sent a voicemail here, but I've got him. Let me see. I'm going to add him to the conference. We'll get both these guys in here. All right. Pivotman, yeah, what I meant was if you could just like put a something on, to where it won't get filled. You know what I mean? Just really quick, so I can just make sure that I see that over here on our screen, like a limit order.
Yeah, I keep on clicking on the dome and I'm getting nothing. I've got buy market and join bid, but when I click on the dome here,
you gotta enter. Filled. Yeah, you gotta enter your quantity. See the little quantity?
I got the quantity done.
So if you double click like on the red column way up there in the 1260 area, for example, there you go. There you go. Okay. Now you can just hit cancel all and it'll pull those right off. There you go. All right, we've got it working. Just wanted to make sure. Now let me get the Pivotman. I mean the Kniteknight on here. I'm gonna add him to the conference here, and we'll try to get this thing working. A little bit of popcorn coming in here.
Hi, RPM.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. So we're gonna call you Kniteknight, and we got Pivotman. We're gonna stick to the real names, which is what we use in the chat room. So
you gave me a user as UTS2 as well, so we might be on the.
All right,
we may be on the same DOM.
Yeah, y'all gonna be fighting each other. So you go ahead and do the same thing, except for just logging as UTS1. So I apologize for that.
All right, I'll log back out.
Yep. All right, so we both should be on the ESH2, and so we're both on the same contract. I was thinking, how about let's take a little vote in the chat room here on the Day Trading Radio Premium chat room. Of course, we get instant feedback in there. What do you guys think should be the maximum cars that we should allow in this deal? What do you think? I was thinking 20, make it really exciting. Or do you think we should do something a little smaller, 5, or what do you think? Go bigger, go home, 100. 20 is fine. Gas is 20 is fine. A lot of people saying 100, 5, 6, 10, 6, 100. All right, so why don't we maybe 20 is a little not realistic for the average trader. Why don't we do 10? Why don't we do 10 as the max? You can't have more than 10 on at any one given time. And how about a $3,000 maximum blowout? Let's do that. So let's do 10 maximum cars and $3,000 maximum blowout. So if you're down $3,000 cumulatively, you're over. You're done. So you could so like if you've got realized. Let's say you're negative 2,500 on your realized trades, and you got another trade on, and it goes over 500 down, that's it. Or if you guys see what I'm saying? Or if you only got one trade on, you're holding on to it, and you don't have any realized gains or losses, you could go all the way down to 3,000. And then once you go over that 3,000 negative, then that's it. You're out. You lose. How's that sound?
All right.
Will that work?
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're clear. All right, so why don't we go ahead? If both of you guys are Kniteknight, if you want to go.
I'm back on. Do you just want to test it? I'll put a buy way up here.
Yeah, put a buy or a short somewhere on there so we can see that.
No, I'm having the same problem.
If you double click,
you got to double click.
Yeah, you double click.
Oh yeah, I want to fix that. You're right.
And you got to put in a quantity.
There I am.
All right, I don't see anything yet.
1261.
Don't see it.
ESH2, UTS1.
Yep. Oh, you put it on 1268. Yeah, put
12.
Drop.
It says 1261.
1261.
Yeah.
All right, I don't see that. Drop one down in the 59 area, 5950 area. There you go. All right, and maybe it was out of the range. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys, let's get started. Go for it.
Ready? Go.
Yep. So Kniteknight's he's going crazy. He's already up $50 here. He's +6. Putting his targets on. Zach, we've got Kniteknight on the left, and we got Pivotman on the right. And Pivotman's short one, and as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen there, we've got Kniteknight with a little bit more complex trade. Now, are you using bracket orders, Kniteknight, or are you putting those on?
I'm giving it a try. Yes, I saw that was a feature in this trading platform, so I'm giving it a try.
Okay.
My indicators here are not really showing much here, so
yeah,
there's lots of conflict right here as to whether it should go up or down. So, kind of keeping it nice and tight.
That's Pivotman. You guys just heard there. He's on the right-hand side. You're out in Hawaii, right?
Correct.
Oh, cool. Cool. And Kniteknight, you're from upstate New York, right?
That's correct. Yes.
White House an hour late on the speech. That might be a good thing.
That's about typical. Not that I'm crass.
Yeah. So Kniteknight's got a $200 lead. He is flat right now. No trades on right now, but he's got all kinds of complex orders in here. He's short 2 at 57 flat.
How can I be up 200 if I'm short 2 at 57?
No. I said Kniteknight was.
Oh, that would be me.
Kniteknight. Okay. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did say Kniteknight, right? I thought I said Kniteknight. All right, so Kniteknight is long 2, and we are short 2 on Pivotman's side, and he's trying to get a fill at looks like 1256.50. Now, you guys probably notice these things fill a lot faster than in real life trading. They fill at about halfway of the amount of time that it's actually on that tick. So it's again it's simulated. Now the demo for Infinity Futures actually requires the trade to cross over the price and go into the next area, into the next tick for it to actually fill. But this is a little bit. All right. Let's see. The way the simulated platform works, it's a little bit easier to get your fills. A lot easier to get your fills. All right. So wow, Kniteknight is just tearing it up here. He's you had 6 on it one time, didn't you?
I did, yeah. They get filled pretty quick on this little thing.
Yeah, they do.
Even in a slow market.
Yeah.
You should have seen it last night. I was playing with it, and it was it was flipping out at like 4 o'clock. It was all over the place. Very, very challenging. Yeah. You couldn't put orders on fast enough. They take them right back off again. Yeah. But I found that putting this little stops in there, go ahead and put your stops in there, and then I also automatic profit and stop loss set up over there in case I miss something on it, and that keeps it kind of safe. Here I'll buy, I'll sell 6, buy 4, I'll sell 6 if it goes against me, and then try to move them around as the trade goes in your favor or against you.
All right, so we got $50 locked in for Pivotman, and he is flat right now. Remember, you guys got 10 cars now, so you can, if you wanted to do 5 and 5, or or blocks of 3, or you can.
Yeah, we're hitting against bottom a trend line there, so
Yep.
I'm waiting for I'm waiting for something to happen.
All right. Yeah, and my update on my my speed trader is not working too well on the pricing. I think I've got my my little bubble tag there set to only give the candle closing price. Either that, or that's what's doing is doing that to me by itself.
Right now, the trick is, what's the computer going to do next?
Yeah.
Is it going to try to flush out some longs or some shorts?
So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourself? Kniteknight, I know both you and Pivotman both been a member of Day Trading Radio right a while. But Kniteknight, you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I guess. You kind of write a little bit about last night. They called me a younger version of Trade for Pay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's a compliment.
I'm a 19th century version. I don't know if that's too much of an improvement, but I'm getting up there. But yeah, I'm a 50-year-old. I got a lovely wife and a beautiful little daughter. She's 11, and we're living pretty good up here in New York. I mean, it's not terrible. Sometimes I wish I was down where you were, and we did take a good look at North Carolina. The only problem on your side of the mountains is we were concerned with the humidity over there. Yeah. And sometimes you have water issues, I think.
Well, I live on the coast. So, well, not.
Yeah.
I'm more of about an hour away from the ocean, so it's nice and it's really flat and. But yeah, it's humid. I mean, it gets humid, on the East Coast, Mid-Atlantic area, and it's not as bad as Houston down in Texas, but it's pretty humid, But yeah, the mountainside of North Carolina is a really wide state, so there's all kinds of country, different types of terrain and everything in North Carolina, but we're on the flat side.
Yeah.
The mountain areas are beautiful. Asheville.
We were
in that area.
we were looking there in Hickory. Problem is no jobs up there. So. And then we were looking at Tennessee as well. Just on the other side of the mountains in Tennessee is pretty nice, I think. You get out of that humidity, and it's not really tornadoes and stuff in there. But
yeah. I see Johnny in the chat room there trying to get a slideshow and music thing DVD made. I'm probably trying to make something there. Johnny, you can do that with the Windows Movie Maker. It does a pretty good job. It's actually very easy too. It's asking for tips in the chat room. How about you, Pivotman? Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm in Hawaii, so trading hours are horrendous.
yeah.
In 2007, I did the whole wake up at 3:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. depending on the times, daylight time saving thing.
Yep.
But that just kills you. I mean, I don't know. I was talking with ES Bobby, who's another day trader member, and he was like, "Oh, I love it. Get to wake up early and still have the whole day." I don't know how he did that. He must be younger than me, because I'd wake up at 3, and by about 9 a.m. I'd be tired, have to take a nap, because if you want to try to live a whole day after that, you're not sleeping much.
Yeah.
I ended up not doing that anymore, and just waking up whenever and trading the close. Interestingly enough, I've been getting a lot of indicators and different helps and all that for the open, which makes me want to go back to Europe. I think Europe is the best place because it's the evening by the time that that the market opens, and then you can place on your trades and then do the market open, and then you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm getting a little taste of that weird hour type thing now that I'm out in California on vacation here. It's 3 hours difference, and I'm waking up and at like 5 o'clock here, and and I feel like when I wake up I just pop no alarm or anything like that. It's 5 o'clock, so it's completely dark. And everybody's looking at, go back to bed. What are you doing? You gonna wake him up? And they got this little poodle dog, and by that time he's trying to sink his teeth into my calf muscle, and thinks I'm an intruder or something, But I'm trying to get a balance there.
I think that's right. And interestingly enough, everybody's constitution is a little different, but I think that I've lost actually quite a few trades based on just being groggy.
yeah. I don't doubt it.
So,
all right,
but apart from that, I've been trading since about 94, 95. I forgot exactly when we started.
Mm-hmm.
But the ES I started only recently. So let's see if this adds some more here since we got 10.
Yeah, you got 4 on long here. Yeah.
Yeah. How do I cancel? How do I cancel an order that's already placed? Oh, I see. I can just move it. All right.
Yeah, you click it one time and it gives you a little hand, and then you click the next place you want to put it, and it'll move it. There you go. There you
go. But yeah, it's interesting. ES is a whole different animal from the regular stock trading thing. I started that only about 2007, end of 2007,
mm-hmm.
And yeah, it gives you enough leverage that I managed to blow out my account in 2008. Then got some more money and put it back in the trading account and started again. It's an interesting animal that's got all kinds of tricks and traps. What did the guy call it? Head fakes and the other one is decoys. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Head fakes and decoys.
Yep. PPTBS is asking which one of you guys are Hawaii. That's Pivotman.
I'm in Hawaii. Yeah, I'm in Hawaii. Downtown Honolulu, and I have a property up on the North Shore there. I know that who was it that I was talking to? Big Wave Writer? I was talking to somebody else. Yeah, he's also up there on the North Shore. The Mecca of surfing. It's funny because as just a tidbit of information, I was a ski instructor in Europe, in Switzerland, and I used to make fun of people who lived in a ski resort but didn't ski. And then I moved to the North Shore of Hawaii, and I don't surf, which is my reckoning time.
Kniteknight is tearing it up doing the hyper scalping here. He's up almost $1,000.
Oh.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of those little one tick and 2 tick moves. And some. Well, you got about 3 or 4 ticks out of a couple of those trades, I think.
Yeah, I'm just taking. Taking what I can, Yeah.
Kniteknight, I'd probably have some trouble against you.
Well, let's see what happens if I get lucky enough to beat Pivotman if I'm fortunate, and then we'll see who's next. I'm going after Lear though. He's my buddy, and I'm looking for him. I'll call him out right now.
Yeah, we will. Oh, did you hear that? Well, the Pivotman match isn't over yet. He's got 4 on right here, and he's break even basically. He's up $25 right here. He's long 4. So if this thing was to pop, we'll see what happens here. Yes, we will be counting commissions, Bry Guy, and it's $4.50 per contract. Yeah, let's not forget the commissions because it will add in there.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have like you 100 trades at least, right?
Yeah. That's all right.
But yeah, if you're making $8 a shot, if you only take one tick, and
Right.
it's,
But if every trade is positive, then
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't want to look at them yet, the commissions yet, because it'll screw up my screen here. But and we got one going against Pivotman a little bit here.
Yep.
And Kniteknight's got a ton of orders on, ready to hit on both sides, and he's +2 right now at 56.
So what are you doing, Kniteknight? Are you putting on a trade between the bid and the ask? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got.
Are you
some
playing
stops.
market maker?
I've spread wherever it is, and then I put stops on either side of it, and then what I'll do is that's my protection, and then I'll just manually go ahead and close it if I have to, which I will most of the time. And then if we get a spike in one direction or another, it kind of takes care of itself, and I can worry about the micro movements, and let the Dom care about the big candles.
Right. That's actually a pretty smart strategy. I like that.
Now I got more on than I really would like, but I'll take 2 here. That's what I'll do. I'll take the other 2 here.
All right. So about 20 minutes into this thing, I guess we'll take it to 2. That's okay with you guys. And
I think I lost some money there, huh? Oh,
did you
man.
lose some?
Yeah, I hate that.
Pivotman is he's long 6 at 56.75, and going against him just a little bit. Well, wait a minute now. Are you long 6, or is that something weird going on with the platform, Pivotman? Because
No, I'm long 6. That's correct. I added 2 more as it dropped.
yeah, so 2 ticks you're showing down at $112.50. Yeah.
Yep.
And you guys, you know that I don't know how much practicing you guys have done with the platform, but you've got your flatten button there that just gets you out of everything. It cancels all orders and sells your cars or covers your cars, or sells them or covers them depending on what side you're on. It just flattens everything out for you if you get in a panic. Cancel all on the Infinity platform takes off any orders that are on there that hasn't filled. And then, of course, buy market is obvious, sell market obvious. And when you hit those buy and sell and join offer and join bids, it will throw those on with the quantity that you select up there in the little top box where you can select how many cars you want. And then there's bracket order system and everything. We've gone over that with Andrew from Infinity a few times. And you can pretty much do just about anything you'd really want to do with the Infinity platform. I definitely recommend you guys. There's a link on the Infinity for the Infinity sign up page. If you go to the ultimatetradershowdown.com, there's a banner at the bottom or on the right hand side below the video, and over there you will see the Infinity Futures banner. You click on that and it'll take you to their sign up page. To where you can fill it out and get your own demo, where you can basically do exactly this with fake money. A little bit harder to get your fills on the demo than it is on this platform. This one's specifically set up for us to do the competition across the server side, so we can replicate and display what these guys are doing. But the demo side actually requires, like I was mentioning earlier, the demo, the regular demo, Infinity demo that anyone can get and practice before they open their real account. It requires the price to actually go past that particular tick that your order is on before it will fill, which probably is an advantage to someone that's trying to stay patient and learn discipline when trading ES, because it would actually be easier for you to fill in a real market, because it will fill when it hits the tick or somewhere in between. Where with the demo it requires it actually passed, into the next tick, which means certainly you would have gotten your fill if it had been real money. So I do recommend everybody out there to just give it a shot, give it a try. ES Junkie there saying hello to me. I'm out in your neck of the woods there, ES Junkie. I'm out in your neck of the woods. Go ahead, Pivotman. Sorry.
Yeah, what I was saying is I think you just explained Kniteknight strategy there. You play the market maker, and you can put a order on the bid and the ask at the same time, and you're going to get filled, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, as long as it doesn't move completely against you the opposite direction. Yeah, you could it usually hits. You usually get filled pretty much right when you cross into that area. With this particular version of the platform, the one we're using specially for UTS. Now, I don't know if anybody else out there knows this or not, but we're going to be doing this with real money next year. In 2012, we will be doing this with real money, real accounts, and it'll be an account set up by Johnny and Day Train Radio. It will be real money, verifiable, and we're going to set up some kind of prize system to where the competitors can trade that real account, and the winnings can split it or something. Day Train Radio gets half, stays in the account, and then half of the winnings will go to the competitor. So that's going to be coming. A lot of people have been critical because the platform doesn't really behave like the real one would. Other people have been critical because it's fake money, doesn't mean anything. We're going to change that. So when it starts, we start to show you real money changing hands right down on the screen in a real competition environment. Nobody, that should put out all those, all those criticisms, I think. So. Should get a lot more sighting. A lot more people, big people going to be coming out of the woodwork to want to play too. Yeah. which we're already seeing that. We're already seeing that because Johnny brought this up, a couple of weeks ago. Started telling people it's going to be real money. So I believe next week on Tuesday, I think we've got it's Airman and Bry Guy, so want to do it next week. So, all right. So we got Pivotman now. He's got $25 locked in, and he's just kind of hovering there on a long at 6. If this if we get a pop here, he's going to be in good shape. Kniteknight's just tearing it up. He's locked in $1,500 profit, and he's flat right here with nothing on. Hyper scalping.
Yeah, well, my fingers twitching. I think. I didn't make half those trades. Half them trades that was just from being shaky.
Is that right? Yeah. That sounds like my first one. I couldn't even breathe.
Yeah.
Johnny was talking to me, and I'm like, I can't talk right now. I'm trading. I will say this. What's commissions at? Let's see if I can pull up the commissions I just had in the chat room here.
They're not 1550.
No, I mean he's making profit. So, all right, let's see. So you're UTS 1. Let's see. We've got. Oh, that's not bad. 118 round trips.
Yeah, at $4, that's $500, something like that.
Yeah. At 450.
450.
Give me my calculator. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a flat day. If it was we're getting bigger candles, we'd be able to spread it out and actually do less trades, right?
Yeah. Yep. So you're still up $1,000 after you pay your commissions.
Yeah, I don't pay the commissions. They just get to keep that portion of it, and they give me $1,000.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
ES Junkie. Are you there, Pivotman? Okay. Yeah, I thought I heard your audio cut out there. You guys both still with me? You guys can hear me? Did I lose Skype? Pivot. You guys there?
That's impressive. But that $1,000 in these like little ticks.
Yeah, the audio is cutting in and out for you guys on Skype there. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, here we go. There's a problem with your connection. Here we go. Let's see, maybe it switched servers. Skype is peer-to-peer networking, so it's a little weird. Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
It did drop off, and now it's back on.
All right, good. We got you again, Pivotman. How about you, Kniteknight? Kniteknight, you there? Hopefully the show is still good for everybody out there.
Yeah, I didn't lose anything with the feed for the data or the day trading radio, just the Skype.
Yeah. Like I was saying, Skype is kind of weird. It's a peer-to-peer thing, you know, so you're actually using other people's computers to connect. It's a completely peer-to-peer, well, not completely, but mostly peer-to-peer network, so those links go up and down. So anybody out there that uses Skype, you'll see that it's a normal thing. How about you, Kniteknight? You still there? I don't know where he went. He's dropped off. But I got you loud and clear, Pivotman.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, we got to figure out a way to catch up to him. You got 8.
Well,
you're definitely calling for long here. You got 8 on.
I'm seeing that this platform allows you to get filled relatively quickly.
Yeah.
But
it does.
I'm tempted to do his technique, but then I'd be actually showing a technique that isn't necessarily real. So I'm kind of hesitant. I'm ambivalent here. Do I want to try to make a whole bunch of money playing this demo aspect, or do I want to show reality as to what are good trading techniques? Right now I'm just waiting for it to pop back up to that trend line, and then most likely it's going to go short from there. But I don't know. It's tempting, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, so you're able to see the screen, what he's got on there.
It's kind of hard because I can't do the full screen.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it blocks all my other stuff.
Right.
But I'm just so impressed on his ability to generate $1,000, and I'm looking at these bars and I'm like, really? How did he do that?
Well, he's putting on, five at a time, 4 at a time, 3 at a time. He's just catching both sides of it, you know. All right, so here we go. Here, let's add him to the conference. Hey, you there?
Yeah.
All right.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah. Hey, you guys got to remember that even though I'm not on Skype, I could still hear you.
So you could still hear us. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard
Okay.
everything you guys said. Now it's okay. Okay, game on.
Game on. Well, I don't know. I'm tempted, but I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Because
I'm sorry. I realized last night that you can't trade in this simulated item using how you normally trade. I normally do not trade like this because you can't. And the reality is, you get the immediate fills, and so.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is keep it close, add it up, pound it real hard when it's close.
Right.
And,
Well, we've got absolutely almost no action now. So in reality, people would be up $12.50 if they're lucky, during this last hour. I mean,
wouldn't be trading it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be. You would be playing it more like Pivotman is, with just trying to, get, waiting for something, to happen. I mean, it's literally moved 2 or 3 ticks. That's it,
Yeah.
So, but having said that, Kniteknight, you do have your protections, your stops, and everything in there. So,
Yep.
If it did go crazy on you, it wouldn't completely wipe out all your profits,
Oh, not at all. No. Not at all.
So you're flat, but you're trying to take 4 and go long.
No, I'm going to go
4.
for the long because the stochastics are down there on a 2-minute, and it's kind of pulled back. It's just hugging this line, this 1256 and a quarter line.
Now,
and we do have a downward trend line on a 2-minute. So
so you're using the 2-minute chart.
yeah, I'm using a 2-minute. Even though it's slow, I probably should go to a 1. But
Yeah.
2-minute, it's good enough.
How about you, Pivotman? What are your typical indicators?
I have a 1-minute chart, and I have a 5-minute and a 30-minute chart.
Okay. Yeah, that's usually what I'm
Looking at all
running.
3 of them with different indicators. On the 1-minute, I've got the stochastics, just like. Whoa! Wait a second here.
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah, you got 8
yeah.
on here long, and you're hopping back and forth $150.
Yeah, it's whacking me right now. Anyway, and then on the 5-minute, I've got this custom indicator that I bought off a guy here in Maui, and I'm looking at that, and it's still saying that we should be long at this point, so that's why I'm holding the longs. But yeah, I'm starting to sweat here, even with paper money.
Yeah. Hey, look, anything can happen. I mean, we've had these matches to where one guy was up $1,000 and the other guy was, break even or down, and it wound up the other guy won. We've seen it go both ways. So anything can happen. You just push the wrong button or, whatever. So just hang in there, and yeah,
especially with 10 contracts, you could make a big difference real quick. With
yes,
10.
you can. Yeah, it could go. 10 contracts could go against you for one competitor, and then it could go entirely for you on the other side, and then the profit P&L on both sides completely cross each other and go in the opposite direction. I think that happened to me and Dak one time, and I was short and he was long, and the market went heavily in my favor, and I held on to it, and either that or it was the other way around. I forget, but yeah, there's is that Afarhat in the chat room saying that your strategy Kniteknight would actually could work even with real money at any time, regardless of just what the big players are doing.
Yep. I think I'm going to start doing this, but I just want to use somebody else's money to do it.
Yeah, I'm blaming you. Well,
Yeah,
you do
'cause
that you're doing that with futures anyways. There's so much leverage. You're really using somebody's money. What is it like?
Yeah.
With Infinity, $500, you wind up with $85,000 worth of leverage. I think it is. With one car basically. I think something like that.
Right.
It's outrageous,
But
anyway.
me, I'd be scared to put up this much money. Just my luck. It would go the other way. But I tend to be a little more conservative.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing about a simulated platform. Even if it was completely 100% realistic on the fills, your emotions really aren't there because it's fake.
Right.
And that's what I learned in my lesson the hard way. I still did well on my ES trading. My emotions got in the way of my logic. And I did stupid things, and got beat up, and when it's real money, it changes, change it. And some people say, the more that you practice with a demo, when you do flip over to real money, you just kind of keep the same attitude. And, if you do it enough with a demo and you get a system down to where it works, and you're profitable, consistently, when you flip over to real money, you just don't think about it being real money anymore. You just play it like it's, it's a skill, just like a, game like you were playing before. Some people are able to do that. I wasn't able to. So, but I'm planning to get back in it when I get some spare time. And
I think what you just said is most important, RPM, because the only thing that stands between you and the trade is the emotion aspect in yourself. And
yeah.
when I have a trade on, like the one that I have on right now, it's like I'm 8 contracts long, and if it goes south on me, I'm like, well, too bad. But if I have the real 8 contracts on, I'm not saying, too bad. I'm really
you're
sweating real hard.
Yeah, you're yelling at people to shut up. You're
right.
You're not answering the phone. You're just you're staring at it. And that's the way I was. I was never 8 cars on it one time. I was maybe 4s and 5s, but having one go against me and then move a stop where the stop would have taken me out, and I would have lost a couple $100, and then I was just determined to make the trade work, and I would move the stop, and then I moved it to a point to where it wiped out 2 days worth, 3 days worth of profits. It's just stupid stuff like that. I put the stop there in the first place for a reason. So
Yeah.
hang on just a minute, guys. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, so we are really just dragging along flat here. What we've been in a range from about 56 to 57, I guess, because you've had this long on Pivotman for what now? Going on 20 minutes here.
A little too long for this kind of game.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that this might work in reality, but not in the Trader Showdown here.
Yeah, you could have put a stop in probably 55.50 and it never would have been hit. It would have. We really have had some sideways movement here. But we are approaching, I'm just watching here, I've got the chart up here. We are, that 200 period moving average is creeping up under us on the 1 minute chart. Stochastics are rolled up on the 1 minute chart. And this is a really truncated chart here. I'm trying to get the broadcast to work. But we definitely are, with the 200 period moving averages pushing up underneath us. So...
Yeah, that's what I'm betting on too. There's some good indication that the computers have tried to see if there was any downward motion, and I don't see that it has. So right now we should get a pop up to this, to try out the longs at this point, see if any follow through from that.
I'm going to try to put I've got your picture. This is Pivotman.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on TV.
Kniteknight. He's, I guess that's what you look like at night, right?
Yeah, I look good in that picture, actually. That was when I was younger.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice and active.
Yeah.
Man, we could make some good jokes. That's a long tail you got there.
It is.
Man.
All right, so Kniteknight is up 1,800 here. If you guys,
Unreal.
he's just tearing it up. I mean, he's just. I'm sitting here doing I'm practicing along with you guys, and I'm up $212.50. So I'd be in trouble against Kniteknight. This is just not working for me. It's just sideways, If you guys are watching live right now, or even a recording, if you listen to this, it's December 23rd, 2011. We've got Kniteknight on the left, who's up by about $1,800, and we've got Pivotman on the right. On the left is Kniteknight. We got Pivotman on the right, and he's showing a profit of about $25 here. Been kind of a slow trade today for this UTS. If you would like to see the scores a little closer, you can always full screen, hover over the middle of your screen there, and hit full screen mode, and you should be able to make out the numbers for the most part. I'm broadcasting this particular show for the first time myself, and I'm doing it from a laptop, from a Wi-Fi connection, and bandwidth is kind of limited here. I'm actually on vacation, of course. It's Christmas time, and but the numbers and everything would be a lot better and more clear, and the resolution would be more clear, of course, when Johnny does the show from the main office there in Nyack. But he's getting ready for Christmas, and he's probably still there at the office and getting what he's got to get done, and because we've got Christmas holiday this weekend. Of course, the markets are going to be closed on Monday, I believe, which will be good. It'll be great for everyone. Get a little extended break. Do you guys Do you guys find that you pretty much want to be involved with the market every day? As long if it's moving, you want to at least watch it or be part of it.
I do. I make trades every day. I do other things too, but so sometimes that takes me away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watch them every day, and as you know, because some people say I'm always on there.
Yeah.
It's an addiction.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think so. I mean, I've got reasons to be watching the site and the chat room and the servers and stuff. But even if I didn't have to do that, I'd find myself just so interested in where the market's at, what the market's doing. Even when I'm not in
Fine-tuning.
trades.
Yeah, RPM fine-tuning the skills is the key here, and I've had a few trades go really bad, and I want to just close everything and throw it away and all that. But that's the time when I got to learn and see where it actually went, whether I was right in a longer time frame or a shorter time frame,
Yeah.
or what the thing is. And that's God, that's the hardest thing for me, is to get back on that horse and once you fall off and be
Yeah.
able to analyze it and see what went wrong.
Right, you never really learn from what you did right. You need to learn from what you did wrong, because we all know how to make money in the market. The problem is figuring out how to not lose a lot. Your profits need to be more than your losses, and to figure out what you did wrong to lose money. If you can figure out that and you can learn from that, and limit those losses, then you can maximize your overall profit. Because your gains are, most of us are good enough to where we can figure out how to make money. It's just figuring out how not to lose it, and I think especially in the ES. I mean, it can take it away from you so fast. At least that's my 2 cents.
It's mainly due to the leverage.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but it works for you in both ways, in both directions. Part of my problem was, my own personal problem was, I would take profits too quick in it, and then let the losers run a little too far, and then finally chicken out and take it off, and wiped out all my little gains.
Right.
So-
That seems to be human nature. I think we all tend to lean that way. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, a lot of sentiment in the chat room is very similar. I think it's a lot of human nature. Exactly. It's just the way we're set up, and I think the computers are programmed to know that we naturally have a tendency to trade in that way. So the computers are set up to know that and
Right.
take
They
advantage
test
of
us all the time.
Yep.
Yep. How many times they do make a trade, and as soon as you get out of it, that's when it reacts exactly like you thought it was going to.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Or you set a stop at a technical level, and it just takes you out by one tick.
Right.
And it's just
Yeah.
they knew you were there. They ran down
Yeah.
and got you.
Yeah, and the second time you do that, you put it up that extra tick, and they stop like a tick before.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on. It's
Yep.
Let's see. What's my friend doing over? He's got 10 contracts on. Oh my gosh.
Well, at this
I got-
point, with 13 minutes left, I'm like,
I got nothing. I should put 10 on, huh? That would be the strategy, right? Put 10 on and just to shadow you the rest of the
yeah,
next-
if you shadow me at this point, you're gonna win for sure.
Yeah.
I think the only winner in this one was the broker, because they made tons
Oh yeah. 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 We got about 12
Yeah,
minutes left here.
I think that I'm here in the hopeful land of the longs, which might not be the right place to be.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you making a challenge to me anyway up there, and it makes a nice Friday. Even,
That's right. It makes for a nice Friday, and once again, it shows that whoever's got the trick on the computer is the winner, and obviously this bid-ask spread that you've been playing with is very successful. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, like you said, you couldn't do that. You couldn't get fills like this. Is the only problem. I'd be sitting there and it'd be sitting on it. And even sometimes when I'm like yesterday, I was trading and I went ahead and I picked a target, and it came down and it sat on my target for a microsecond and didn't fill me, and then took off. And I'm sitting there stunned. What the heck? You know? And I wish it was all simulated then with real money. You know, that would be fine. But you know, how many times I got touched, and then you don't get the fill, and it just runs away on you. Oh, I knew it.
Yeah, that happened to me a lot too with the real deal. It would just bounce all over my target, or you know, I mean, just bounce right over it. And then you sit there, 1,000, 2,000. Oh, come on, you know, it's still sitting on it. 1,000, you know, come on, take it, hit it, you know, and it just. And then I found out later, if you put your limit orders in early, you're the first one on the
That's
on
right.
the block. So all it
Yep.
takes is for to just tap it, and you're hit. You know.
Right. I've done it before where I had my order in. I knew where it was going, and I put it in. I was in there like 20 minutes early. I had my order on there, and it still did that. I couldn't believe it. I said, "Oh, you know, yeah."
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, it's like, especially trading with, I like to trade with trend lines and channels and all that. The thing is, when those channels are sloping in either direction, it's hard to really guess exactly where that price is going to be, because the time factors in there on where the price level will be when it like meets that trend line, because the trend line is actually changing as time goes by, you know. You know, so it's a moving target, so you can't put the order in but so early, because you might be off, you know. So yeah, it's tricky. I think that's one reason why the fibs do work to a certain degree on a longer time frame, because the fib numbers are drawn in, you know, and they don't move until, you know, it changes, you know. And then you can just kind of, as long as it's in the range in between two fib ranges, you still have your target on both sides, you know, your fib levels on both sides, and you basically can put your orders in, you know, appropriately according to that, and wait for it to happen. Where with you know, with moving averages and all that, the average is actually moving. I mean, right now we've got the 200 period moving average, you know, just under that 1256. Yeah, probably 1255 and 3/4. You know, you could put that in like for an order to go long there if you wanted to, but if the price action stays up, you know, in 56, 57, or it gets up into 57, that 200 period moving average is moving up for you. It may not never come down to that 56, or when it does come down to the 55, 75 level, it's broken the 200 period moving average, and it might be because the market fell apart. So then your order gets hit, and it goes against you terribly, you know. So it's just tricky. It's, you know, it's not as simple as one might hope, you know. And no matter what, I think there has to be some stops in place. You have to put your stops in there, or it really mess you up, you know.
Right.
Oh. You know, another thing I've also seen that's similar to what you're saying is that even though you're first in line, so for example, let's say that the price you know, went through that price point. So let's say that we're at 1256.50 right now. Obviously, if anybody who's had an order in there for a while, it's already been filled. If you put it in and you're the first one in, you still don't get in first, because there's all these other, you know, computers that slide in between and underneath, right?
Right, yeah.
Just like what we saw with the Goldman Sachs computer there. Oh, it's going my way.
Hey, there you go.
The Goldman Sachs computer, you know, that made what between 1 million and 100 million you know, a day, just based on sliding in front of other orders. You know, they do that. So even in real life, you know, you don't necessarily get filled right away. It almost has to, you know, all the other big guys need to be filled, and then you get filled. Because I see it. I have the time and sale, and I often see that on the ask there is a, you know, 500 contracts, and you see 700 contracts go by before you get filled. You're like, wait, how's that possible?
Yeah, I know. And you know, I've made the comments before, and a couple of people were upset about it, that I said they see your They see where your range is if you use brackets. They do. They can see the order IDs on the on everything. It's out there on the open market. The computers calculate where the range is going to be based on all the bracket orders that go in, because they see the IDs on the bracket orders and they say, okay, his target's up here. His stop is right here. And then they factor all those together, and I guarantee you it's all factored into the way these computers run the market. They see all that. So if they see a big bracket order, with a couple hundred cars or whatever, then that factors in, and it changes the what the computers are going to do and how they're going to react. And that's why the bracket order, to me, is, it's smart because it goes in fast, but you're showing your hand to the rest of the market. You're showing your hand. It's like playing a card game and laying your cards down face up on the table. Because you see, okay, this guy, it's just like, okay, he wants to buy it for this price and he wants to sell it for that price. You're exposed right there. Now, it's true that they may not, particularly look at one or two little small traders, retail traders like ourselves. But I guarantee you there's machines out there that are at least factoring in, that data, in the whole averaging out of, what everybody's trying to do. And then the computers try to take advantage of it. That's why I was putting in my stops manually. I would get my fill and I would put my stop in after that. The problem is, if you get your target gets hit and you don't take off your, you wind up in another trade that you didn't mean for it to be, So it's like, the bracket makes sense because it's conditional in the sense that if the target's hit, the stop goes away, or if the stop gets hit, the target goes away.
Hey, do you mind if I answer that question from Brig guy there?
Sure.
Yeah, it is true that the bracket orders might be only on the client side, but you see, most of the orders get filled through Goldman Sachs, right? Because they have 40% of the market. And so let's say you're trading Fidelity. So even though it stays on the client side, because they resell their order to Goldman Sachs, Goldman Sachs obviously has to know in order to be able to fill it. And so there you go. They still, even though it stays on the client side, the client then informs the execution, which is Goldman Sachs, and then Goldman Sachs now knows, 40% of all the trades that go through, and that you can have quite an insight on what the market is about to do if you have 40% of the market.
Right. There are some platforms out there that allow you to do it completely, though, on client side. Client side in the sense that it's right there on your computer. You haven't shown your hand at all. It's not there until the software says, okay, it's time to stop, and then it triggers a stop client side. The problem with that is if anything happens to your internet connection or your computer dies, your order's not on the exchange. Where with Infinity, for example, the orders are on the exchange, so they see it, and that order ID is the same for the they're locked together. They're so sure there is a way to do that, and that's the reason why black boxes have an advantage, because they sit there ready to do it before it actually happens. So it's they're not exposing themselves, but also the black boxes throw orders on and they're decoys. So they manipulate the market that way. And it is truly a real order. It's just the black box is never going to let it get filled because it yanks it right before it does, if it's a fake order. There's all kinds of manipulation that goes on like that. But the bottom line is the charts and the patterns still play out. And the computers and the mixture of the retail and the small, traders are all mixed into that and factored into that. The patterns are real. The everything about all that is real. So that's what we have to go by, So you're long 10 here, and every tick for you is like $250. So
Right, and there's 3 minutes left, right? So
yeah, and Kniteknight is up $2,050, and he's just flat right now with nothing on. He's tearing it up.
yeah.
I knew this could happen potentially with 10 car range. We've got just a couple of minutes left here. Let me pull up my. All right, now you just took some profit there, so you're up $187.
Yeah, it's like at this point with 2 minutes, it's like I better lock in the profit of 187.
You need to start throwing some tens on there in each direction and see if you can catch up with him real quick, maybe. And
That's bad practice.
Kniteknight's ladder looks like a Christmas tree. Look at that thing. Red and green.
Oh yeah, it's lit up. Uh-oh. I need to
Now
find
you're
something,
plus
man.
4 now. He's trying to get 2 ticks out of. Is that 2 ticks you're trying to get out of that long?
Right, 4 from 2.
Yeah. All right, so we've.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked. It worked there. You're up $212 now. You just made yourself.
Yeah. So what we're saying is, if I do
Like if you were to short here 10,
back the door,
and then just go ahead and put 1 tick lower, put your cover, your buy, you know. Oh, you're going long instead. You're going wrong side. I don't want to influence you. Sorry, if it comes down and fills, you could have done either one. See. All right, now let's hope it doesn't go against you now. Let's see. There you go. You can take that, you know.
oh, it didn't send my order. There you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah,
There you
see,
go.
that's not real.
No, it's not. It's gonna be next year though. I don't think we're going to let people have 10 cars though. That's gonna be a little heavy. All right, so what do we got here? Like a minute left? Or are we already at 2 o'clock here? Let me adjust my internet time here and synchronize this new laptop I've got. Oh boy, error occurred. Let's see.
Yeah, night. Congratulations. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, thank you, Pivotman. And
29? Is that it? I can't. Is it
I
27?
think it's 21. I got 21.
21. Oh, okay.
All right, it's over. Let's flatten everything, clear.
Let's see.
I'm gonna
An
cancel
hourly
everything.
rate. I'm probably doing pretty good.
Yeah,
It's more than minimum wage, huh?
yeah, you got that right. All right, Trader RJC, Merry Christmas to you too. All right, let's see here.
I think RPM called the guys to say no news during this 1 hour.
158 round trips. Wow. All right. Where did my calculator go again? Oh, that's my calculator. I'll type in calc. Can I? Where's it? Oh, there it is. All right, 158. I need to write all this down because. Let's see here. We're 2100 even, right? Night.
Yes, exactly.
All right, and 337.50 for Pivotman. All right, and Pivotman, let's see. All right, well, let me do Night's trades first. 158 times 450, $711 in commissions.
Wow.
Believe it or not, with real money, I had commissions in one day were more than that. Still made profit
With
for the day.
real money.
Real
wow.
money, yep, in one day.
Yeah.
And Pivotman had, let's see,
1389. It's a profit.
yep. See, if you could consistently do that all day, every day.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, this is no fair.
Sorry.
All right, well, next time we're just going to log into your account and watch it for real. All right, let's see. Where's my other platform here? TS2, see? And Pivotman has 26 trades. 26 round trips. So, 26 times 450. $162. And commissions. So he made profit too. So
Yeah, I wanted to close green, no matter how small it was.
I hear you. I don't blame you. All right, so you made $175. 175.50.
That's not bad for an hour.
No, it's
I'll
not.
tell you.
Not bad for
not
an
bad
hour.
at all. Yeah.
Of course, he was slinging 10 cars around there for a few minutes.
Yeah, that takes some guts. And I think you were open-ended on the one. I didn't see you putting up too much in the way of stop loss.
No, he wasn't. If the market had gone into crickets had flown,
Yeah.
it could have gone either way, you know.
That's when Reuters comes out with something
Yeah.
European, and all of a sudden
There you
European
go.
all over the floor.
Yep, European news, European all on the floor. Yep. All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you so much for the competition, and we really appreciate your memberships, and thanks for doing this with us, and Merry Christmas to both of you.
All right.
And if
You're
you-
welcome. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
All right, take care, guys.
Take care.
All right, cool deal. All right, so that concludes this Ultimate Trader Showdown. We had Kniteknight victorious after commissions at $1,389 on the positive side against Pivotman. After commissions, he was still made money, $175.50. And I'm going to go ahead and close down the show just to mark the end of the recording. I'll be right back with the regular broadcast in just a few minutes. So we appreciate everybody on the show, and of course the participation in DayTradingRadio.com premium chat room too. Makes it a lot of fun. Market kind of just dragging along today. Of course, this is just 2 days before Christmas holiday, December 23rd, 2011. This has been an Ultimate Trader Showdown. Take care, everybody. RPM out.